Hello people, the Ratchet here again, and I've come across a PlayStation 2 game that I once again believe that was a game that I wouldn't really care about, but the first time playing it I thought it was a pretty fun game. This is Ratchet and Clank for the PlayStation 2. Well, this is Ratchet and Clank going Commando for the PlayStation 2, and I think it's a pretty good game. As we see here, kicking ass one planet at a time. You get to power up your health by every enemy that you defeat. The more you defeat enemies, the stronger you get. But I'll get to that later. This is a really fun game. I enjoy it, and so far it's one of my favorites in the library. Well, when I get MX vs. ATV Unleashed, it'll be a different story. But for now, this is as is. Enjoy my review. Alright, so here we go. Now before we actually start, I just wanted to let you know that you probably noticed that it's a little brighter out as compared to my last clip. But it's because I had to redo the entire gameplay footage because it was too long and I sounded boring, so I had to delete everything. So now it's time to do all this again. And one thing I have to criticize that is that you can't actually skip through the commercials. But then you don't really have to. There are few enough clips for it to violate that rule. Thank you very much. So here is Ratchet and Clank going Commando. Here we have Ratchet, who is the yellow dude that's playing the game, and right next to him is the robot that's reading. His name is Clank. Why Robot is reading, I don't know, but then I can't really criticize this game too much because I love it so much already. Now, time to get into the actual gameplay. Here we're loading a file, Canal City. Let's go. This is where I last left off, but before we actually continue on in the game where I left off, I'm going to be showing some basic moves. This is where I left off. So here we have an axe. You use it simply by pushing square. You can also jump by pushing X. And you can do a double jump by tapping it once you're airborne. And you also have a propeller. That can be doing it by tapping twice while in midair. Alright. You could say that it's pretty similar to the Tanuki suit straight out of Super Mario 3D Land, which I forgot to mention in my 50th episode special. I will have to get to that sometime. As we see, we can destroy these lampposts for some money. I don't feel like destroying the city, but may as well get some stuff. And here we have a life bar up there, 14 units. The more you defeat enemies, the more you can fill up that red bar up there. It's right below the life bar. Every time you fill up that meter, you'll be able to gain extra unit of life. And you access this menu by holding triangle. And here we have an inventory of all the weapons and utilities that we have. Here we have his basic weapon, the Lancer. Now I have the Heavy Lancer. If you get enough points, you'll be able to upgrade to that, but at first you get the regular Lancer. This Heavy Lancer does a little more damage, and it gives you a lot more ammo. The regular one just gives you 100, no, it gives you 200 ammo. This one gives you 300. And it's a pretty useful one, though most of the time I like to stick to the default axe, because it does much more damage since it's not a projectile. The projectiles usually do less damage, depending on what you're using. Next up, we have the gravity bomb, but I never really like to use it. Mainly because it only gives you 8 shots. Yeah. And here's the tractor beam, which we can't use right now because we're not near a special wall that requires it. It's used to move certain blocks and stuff. And now we have the dynamo. This once again is used to do stuff like that. Very useful. And we also have the swing shot, which is used to swing across on certain beams. And yeah. And this is a chopper. I bought from one of those shops back there. It's basically this very deadly frisbee, much like the deadly disc straight out of Tron the movie, or Tron Legacy, or any of the Tron movies. And it's a fairly useful weapon. It goes in a bunch of directions. You can use it to destroy so much stuff. Well, you can't aim it, but it's very useful. Oh man. Better get to a safe spot where I can explain about more of this stuff. And here we have the Therminator. This is used to freeze water and thaw ice. And note that once you freeze the ice, you can thaw it again. So that one is mainly utilities. So in total, I believe we have 4 weapons and 3 utilities. Or wait. No, we have 3 weapons and 4 utilities. Sorry for my misunderstanding that time. And here we have these crates. The ones with the orb restore life, and those blue turrets that you see there, those restore any ammo that you need to refill. At least for certain types, I believe. And I think that's it for the actual understanding of what all the weapons do and such. So on to the actual gameplay where I left off. So on with the game. I think we got through the more frustrating parts of the game. Sorry if that slammed there, but I really need some peace and quiet in here as I play. Oh, this level is so annoying, I hate it. This is my first time getting through here. Oh boy. Well, I didn't get to show you anything, but yeah. I didn't really get to show you much, but one actual thing about the gravity bomb, it can be upgraded for more shots. I just don't have the ammunition right now. And there are other cool weapons you can get, such as the Seeker gun. Like, here's something you can do on these big dude snipers that are coming up. It immediately annihilates those big guys. With just the Lancer or if you're using the Lancer or the Axe, they're pretty durable. And those robots that you saw earlier on in the game, I should have mentioned they really look like chickens. And there's this yellow ship, looks like a Volkswagen Beetle kind of. This takes you back to the factory where I just was. I would have showed you that when I was reviewing it, but it was just too much information to gather. I absolutely hate the ice physics in this game. They can really catch you off guard. Because, let me show you something while I'm here. Whether you're in mid-air or not, your jumping relies on the ice. And you seem to be controlled more when you're on the ice when you're in the air, in which you expect the total opposite. Well, that was a waste. I mean, getting to this place was a nightmare. I hate it. But it's a really fun game, so yeah. And plus, it didn't take as long as I expected it to. Wow, I didn't know that I could accidentally propel myself right into a wall and then be struck. So yeah, this game is really fun. I enjoy it and I highly recommend it. For those of you who own a PlayStation 2, I think there is one for the PlayStation 3, but I don't have one of those. So now we're going back up the elevator so we can break these lights up here. Oh, and there's this, I forgot about this thing that there's so many warp zones in this game. It's pretty cool. This warps you to a different part of the game where you can destroy more of those chicken bots and more of those sniper dudes. Real muscular guys. Though, of course they're not muscular, they're just robots. As this whole game is all about robot material. So let's see if we unlocked any planets. If not, I screwed up and I have to get more data. Yes, okay. So I got 2 more planets. As you go along the game, of course you'll unlock more data. As we see here. Now, this game is... I really enjoy this game. This game is right up with Crash Bandicoot 4, which I will be reviewing, which I do plan to review at least. I don't plan to review it anytime soon, though. Those of you who saw my Crash Nitro Kart review know how much I love Crash Bandicoot. But Crash Nitro Kart, well, don't mess with the Crash Bandicoot games. They will get you. Because both the games I have are very hard, but that's for a different story. So overall, this is a really good game. I highly recommend it. So many cool gadgets you can use and such. I haven't got all of them. I'm only a little part of the game right now. But just imagine how good it feels to not have recorded up to 53 minutes of footage, as I did from my previous take that I had with this. And I had so many clips. I had like roughly 8 clips. That's gotta break a record for the amount of clips I originally had planned for this thing. I was going to make it a 2-part due to the bloody long length, but I really did not want to have 26 minutes or maybe even a half-hour worth of one video. I don't want any more than 20 minutes, even if I have broken the rule of the 15-minute limit. But then, I just don't want too much data being loaded in one video. So yes, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the vid, and I'll see you whenever my next review may be. See you next time. This is the TF32's signing out, as always.